Hi, I'm Stacey from the Two Degrees Foundation, and I am here with LaKisha James. LaKisha is the CEO and founder of Designer Events by LaKisha, located in Georgia. Um, Designer Events by LaKisha specializes in international corporate event planning, event designs, and set design for films and plays. She holds a degree in interior design and in management with a concentration in small business and entrepreneurship. Ms. James is the Atlanta chapter leader for the Global Women Empowerment Organization, World Women Conference and Awards, and she also serves as an ambassador for Black Women Networking. LaKisha has co-authored 4 books and is an international best-selling author. She is also the editor for Real Women Atlanta magazine. LaKisha is also the host of Talks with LaKisha on the IM Network. And Ms. James was the recipient of the 2019 CEO on the Rise Awards for Who's Who of Urban CEOs, as well as the recipient of the 2021 Global Leadership Award. As well as an entrepreneur, LaKisha is also the mother of 2 and lives by the statement, "Without God, I am nothing, and He has equipped me with everything I need to be successful." What a powerful statement.
Yep, I live by that.
You are quite the accomplished woman. Thank you so much for taking time to share your loss journey with me. Let's just start off, if you don't mind, by telling us a little bit about your loss story.
Yeah. Well, my loss happens in 2012. My then fiance and I, of course, we got pregnant, and I want to say a couple of days before December, well, actually the day after Christmas. A few days before then, I didn't feel my baby moved. Prior to that, she was very active, at night, keeping me up, giving me those power hits and kicks and stuff. And then, of course, a couple of days before Christmas, I didn't feel her move anymore. And I was telling him, I was like, I haven't felt her move. He was like, well, she's probably just, getting ready to answer the world. I said, okay, you're right. So one night I got into the bathtub and I felt one hard kick. I said, oh, I felt her move. And at that time, after that, December 26th, actually, 2012, I had an appointment. So I went to my appointment. The appointments, they, put you on ultrasound to, hear the baby heartbeat. They was trying to find a heartbeat for, I want to say maybe 10 minutes. And usually if I go to the doctor, they instantly find a heartbeat. So at that moment I knew, but before then I knew that I had lost my baby. They sent me to the hospital. And of course, I got into the hospital just thinking, still praising God in the midst of all this going on. I was like, I know God didn't bring me this far for me to lose my baby. So they, did the test, the ultrasound, couldn't find the heartbeat. So the technician went out and he said, the doctor be in soon to talk with you. I said, okay. At that time, my fiance, he was a truck driver. He was in Alabama. But so God made a way for him to be there when the doctor came in and told us our baby had passed. I wasn't upset. I knew God had a bigger plan than my thoughts. So I was like, but I know He didn't bring me this way, all this way for me to lose my baby. But I didn't want to deliver her. Of course, I had to deliver her. So I'm just sitting there crying, just grieving at the loss of my baby. And I had to deliver her. I could either do a cesarean or I can do, did the normal, the vaginal delivery. So I chose a cesarean. I just didn't want to put my body through all of that pain since I was already in pain. So we had a cesarean. And the reason why she passed, her umbilical cord was wrapped around her neck. And the doctor was like, oh, she's so beautiful. And before, I didn't want to spend time with her. I just could not go through that, seeing her like that. But then at the last minute, we chose to spend time with her. So after I had her, we held her. I looked at her. I was like, okay, are you going to breathe? Are you going to open your mouth? Are you going to cry? Something. She was just peacefully, she just passed peacefully. And again, I wasn't mad at God because I knew, like I say, He had a bigger plan, a larger plan in life. And as I was holding her, I did notice her left ear. She did not have a left ear. Didn't have a left ear. So at that time, I knew that was the reason God took her away from me. My loss was definitely His gain because I know the platform God has me on now, I wouldn't be able to impact like I'm doing with you now, sharing my story, my stillbirth story. Of course, this is only a snippet of my story. I have many stories that I'm going to share with the world. But with him receiving her back, it was a way for me to give back because it's a lot of people, it's a lot of couples that go through stillbirths, and this is my way to give back. If I impact one person, I've done my job. So it's healing. We have different layers of healing, and I'm still healing. I mean, I'm getting emotional now. It's kind of always hard to hold back the tears because it's my baby, but God did bless me in 2015 with the baby. With the baby, yes, it's a girl. The funny thing was when I got pregnant with her, I wasn't bonding with her at all because I was still grieving the loss of my baby. Her name was Joss Elise is what we named her, and her remains sitting on my nightstand right beside my bed. And we celebrate her December 26th of every year. So I'm still love her, still carrying her on in my heart. And she's with God now. And I know for her being with God, I'm able to impact the masses, impact the world, share my story, and share her story as well.
So commendable, so beautiful. You're lucky to have such a beautiful daughter that has been able to give you so much back in the short amount of time that she was here.
Right.
Let me ask you, what advice do you have for families that maybe have recently just occurred or had a loss?
My advice would be don't get mad at yourself. Don't blame yourself because it's nothing that you did. It's nothing that you did. We all know that things happen for a reason, and you lost your baby for a reason. Definitely give yourself time to grieve. There are different levels of healing. There are different levels of grieving. Definitely give your time self to heal. And definitely say affirmations. Affirmations help. They're positive. Just keep telling yourself that I am okay. I will be okay. I will impact the world. I will share my story because your voice is your superpower, and someone needs to hear your story. Like I said, my saying, if you impact one person, you've done your job, and that one person will impact another person. It's just like a ripple effect. So definitely give yourself time to grieve. And then, of course, do some journaling, do things that you like, hobbies. If you like to work out, work out. If you like to spend time with your family. But I do know losing a loved one brings you closer to your family. So definitely make sure that you spend time with your loved ones.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
And I think you bring up a really important thing. You know, you may not necessarily see the reason behind
Mhm.
losing a child right away. A matter of fact, like you said, you even said to God, I know you didn't bring me this far to
Mhm.
lose the baby, and that
Right.
may be the initial thought process. But months and years and down the line, little things start to click and you start
Mhm.
to say to yourself, oh, this is what my child did for me.
Yep.
Oh, this is why this happened.
Mhm.
And I think that that's really important for new families
Mhm.
who are just dealing with loss to try to keep in mind
Yeah.
because it's hard to lose focus, or I should say it's easy to lose focus of that hope right then and there. So I
Absolutely.
think that's an amazing point to have brought up. So talk to us a little bit about your hope journey and what brought you hope after your loss and what you did with it.
Well, hope after my loss, I definitely became closer to God. Because I definitely wanted to understand and know why, and it took me years to even figure out why, that my baby is with him. But now I know, like I said, what I do now, of course, I do a lot. I still don't have time to sleep, but my number one thing is I definitely want to give back to the world, give back to the couples, give back to the mothers that lost the love, that lost their daughters, their sons, any children. It could be twins. That is my number one thing that I'm on a journey to do now. And thank you so much for having me on this platform because I actually just started sharing my story. I shared a snippet of it. I think you and I was on a virtual platform. I shared like maybe 30 seconds of it.
Yeah,
So I know that God has opened up this door for me to share more because it's just more to my story
yeah,
and more impact that I'm going to make. So this is actually my first time really going into detail about what I encountered and how I'm still overcoming. I'm still getting through. Of course, like I said, we do celebrate her every December the 26th. It's her birth date and her death date. But I'm still celebrating in the midst of it because I know she's watching over me. She's keeping me that comfort that I need at night when I think about her, when I look at her remains on my nightstand, and just when I just think about the time that we shared together. we're celebrating. She's celebrating heaven with me, and she's watching over me. And I'm still eternally thankful for God for where He has me now. Not thankful that He took my baby, of course, but I'm just thankful that I'm able to impact, share my story, and to hopefully encourage and inspire and empower women that are going through the same thing.
And that you're a very encouraging woman. And I always say to myself that when I meet other women who have had losses, that I feel that our children in heaven are also together,
Yes.
and holding hands, looking down at their moms right now saying, look what we did.
It was all because of them, all because of them.
Exactly. So thank you so much for your courage, for your bravery, for telling this story. So many women suffer in silence, not able to find the courage to talk about their stories, which really causes a little bit of a social taboo around pregnancy and infant loss. And we're shattering the stigma by telling our story. So thank you so much, LaKisha, for everything you've done. Keep on raising hope and helping others. And we will be in the works with other things, I have a feeling, in the future, you and I.
Absolutely. See, we're tied already spiritually because of what we encountered.
That's right.
And it's amazing the journey that God has us on. We never know who we're going to meet, but it's always a reason and a purpose. Absolutely. So I look forward to it.
Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.